New Things Day. It's here again. And once again, only things of the book variety, comic and prose. Let's start off with comics. A ton this week. A ton. I usually get online and I check what's coming out and I see how many I have. I counted wrong or something because I did not anticipate to have this many. First up, Silk number 10. As I say every time this book comes out, I'm never excited to read it. I'm never looking forward to read it. But after I read it, I love it. I don't know what that feeling is called. Maybe I underappreciate this book because I do really enjoy every issue. I enjoy the character. I enjoy what's happening. Power Man and Iron Fist number 6. Civil War II crossover. And for a book that I wasn't even on, and I just picked up the first issue on a whim, I'm really enjoying the series. Vision number 9. Probably hands down my favorite comic book right now. I love this book so much. I love everything that's happening. I love the art. I love the covers. I love Tom King's writing. Just perfection with this book. I love it. Old Man Logan number 8. Fantastic cover there. Just a great book. A great character. There's a lot that, the character lends itself to a lot of different scenarios. And I love Sorrentino's artwork in this also. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 7. Civil War II crossover. This book's kind of neither here nor there. I don't hate it. I've liked the story that's happening, but it's not in reinventing fire. Inventing. It's not, reinventing the comic book story, if you will. But it's not bad. New Superman number 1. The old Chinese Superman here. Excited to see how that goes. And this is the best cover, I think. The other one would have turned me off of this book had it been the only one. That's how much I hated the other cover. It was just awful in my mind. One thing I did realize about all the DC books this week is an amazing, and by amazing I mean awful, Snickers ad featuring the likes of Doomsday, Superman, and Batman. It is awful. Man. Also doesn't help that that's what I turn to in every DC book I flip through. Next we have Detective Comics number 936. Another title I wasn't going to be on, but somehow it got into my bin, and now I'm on it. I didn't hate the first one, though, so guess I'm on. Guess I'm involved. Night Trap number 2. Great Phil Noto cover here. Don't really have an opinion on this book yet. Civil War II number 3. And once again, we're paying $4.99 for a thicker cover. And they're soliciting so many things that are happening coming on the outside of this. I feel like we're overlooking anything that's happening. That's honestly what I think. A book I wasn't going to pick up, but it was the only one in the shop, and it was going right to the shelf, so I said, I'll snag that thing, because I love Cullen Bunn's writing. Conan the Slayer. This may be the first Dark Horse book I bought off the shelf. I love Cullen Bunn's writing. I like Conan, and Conan the Slayer sounds sweet. Deadpool 15, Civil War II crossover. I don't really have any comments on the current Deadpool series. It's good. I like the Mercs. That's kind of what the whole thing is. It's kind of just one single story between Merc. Well, it was. Forget it. Action Comics 959. Once again, I like this cover more, but I almost got the other cover because I hate this. I hate that it says Suicide Squad on here. Don't fuck with my covers. Wonder Woman number 2. Year 1 begins here. I didn't even take a glance at this art in here. Oh, I like it. I like it. I thought the artists and writers were switching every other issue or something like that. I may be wrong. Oh, hey, saw that Snickers ad again. And last, and certainly least, everybody says last but not least. This one definitely is last and least. Mirror number 5. don't know why the shit I'm still on this. I dropped it with this one. I got to 5. It's a nice even number. I have 5. I'm done. I haven't understood it since halfway through number 1. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I like the look of it, but no fucking idea. All right, book time. As you know, got these books, saved them from a bookstore that went out of business. The guy's just going to throw them in the dumpster, save what I could. Going to run through some. If you know anything about them, let me know. I'll say what I know about some of them. First is this, I guess this could be considered like a paperback coffee table book. Late Night with David Letterman, the book. And this was published in the year, it's like 1985. 1985. Just kind of some pictures of some, you know, things they did, some bits they did, and kind of just some jokes here and there. But interesting. I like David Letterman. I'm not going to say that I love David Letterman. I like David Letterman, but I like the whole concept and the whole science of a late night show. I'm a fan of that. More of the older ones. I mean, I lost a lot of interest in the mainstream ones when Conan got screwed, but we don't need to talk about that. Next up, we have Marguerite, edited by David Larkin. I guess this is all the art of Rene Magritte. And I've seen that image before, and I've seen that image before. But I didn't know much of this other stuff. I like it. It's kind of surrealistic in a way, but not. Some of it reminds me a lot of Dali, and Dali is my favorite artist of all time. But I'm a big fan of some of this stuff. And, of course, can't beat Free. Next we have Aldous Huxley, a biography by Sybil Bedford. And this thing, much like the Sinclair Lewis biography, is a monster. This thing pushes 800 pages. Looks like the last couple pages. Looks like the last 200 to 300 pages had some type of water damage on them. This is a book club edition published by Alfred A. Knopf. I hate pronouncing that. Published 1974. Hardback. Dust jacket's not in bad shape, but there is water damage, like I said, on the last 200 pages. So that'll also be one that I'm not going to sit down and read straight through. This will be one that I dabble in, perhaps forever. Perhaps forever. Next, I have Glory's War by Alfred Koppel. This is book 2 of the Golden Wings cycle. Know nothing of this at all. This was published in 1995 by Tor Book. I know Tor is very well known for doing fantasy and sci-fi, and I liked the spaceship on the front, even though the dust jacket's a little ripped up, but nice hardback. Now I just gotta find book 1 of the Golden Wind cycle, and maybe I can read this. Oh, this was a neat one. It's a syllabus of musical history by Louis C. Elson. And what it is, it's kind of like a textbook. And this was published in 1905. But the thing is it looks like it was blank for the most part. I mean, there's a lot of blank pages, and then it says there's lectures. It like gives you the bullet points of the lectures, and then it's just somebody's notes, I guess, from the lecture. And I can't really read it that well. But what I can decipher, it's pretty interesting. They signed at the top of this one, October 22nd, 06. That's not 2006. That's definitely 1906. It's just kind of an interesting thing that I'd like to sit down and deal with at some point and try to go through it. Something fell out of it. I don't even know what this is. Some paper. Looks like some notes. We got love notes. May 13th, 1907. French school. Saint seems. Should early take, nope. Wealthy family. This may just be more notes. If they were love notes, that would be incredible. I would write a book about me finding these love notes in this book. But yeah, that was pretty neat. I liked that. Next up, we have World's End, a novel by Upton Sinclair. Hardback. Dustjack's not in the best condition here. This was published in 1940 by the Literary Guild of America. And interested. I'm very, very slightly familiar with Upton Sinclair. So jumping in this will be a treasure. I'm sure of it. Next, Ruffians. It's a novel by Tim Green. And basically, oh boy, Tim Green on the back. That is not why I got the book. I got the book because of the needle in the football at the front. Made me laugh. Tim Green's on the back. He was an All-American at Syracuse University and a 1986 first-round pick by the Atlanta Falcons. So there's the old Tim Green. And Bob Costas has a little spiel back here. One is considered fortunate to be blessed with either brain or brawn. Tim Green has been blessed with both. So Bob Costas blew this guy. And the book's in very, very good shape. I'm going to say this was published in 95. 93. It was close. It was a 100% guess. I had no idea. Next up, Panama Canal Bride, The Story of Construction Days, by Elizabeth Kitteridge Parker. And it was $3.50 cover price. Oh, it's actually it's autographed by Elizabeth Kitteridge Parker. I don't know if you can see that well. And this was published in 1955. So that's fun. I don't know if I knew this was autographed or not. Some of them did. They had a little thing on them that did say autographed, but I don't remember ripping it off of here. But interesting regardless. I mean, I have no idea who she is, and I've never even seen this book. And on the back here, it says she's of Codesville, Pennsylvania, and St. Petersburg, Florida. The widow of Charles L. Parker is descended from an old New England family. My mouth did not like that. A couple more, and then I'll wrap this up. Next, we have World's Great Thinkers, The Philosophy of Schopenhauer. And I believe this was published in the 20s. Carlton House is the publisher. 1928, this was published. Anytime I really see the word philosophy, no matter what it pertains to, no dust jacket, but very nice kind of engraved art. I don't know the proper term for that. A little bit on the front there. Hardback and no dust jacket. Pretty damn good condition. I like anytime someone says philosophy, I'll give it a shot, because if it will influence me positively or negatively, it's an influence, and I'll take it into consideration and use it in my own life. Next up, Biographia Literaria by S.T. Coleridge, edited with his aesthetical essays by J. Shawcross. This was in Oxford at the Clarendon Press. This is volume 2 of this. I have no idea what it is. I think it's like another old textbook. It's the first edition, 1907. Wrong. Reprinted photographically in Great Britain in 1939. So this is a 1939 publishing of this, I believe. Printed photographically from the sheets of the first edition. And I couldn't begin to explain to you what this is. The pages are very silky, if you will. They're very high quality, almost glossy pages that I don't think would have been used in 1939. It's interesting. It's really interesting how strangely glossy and finished these pages seem. Yeah, but the dust jacket's kind of like a newspaper material. It's very strange. But I don't know. Interesting. I don't know if will ever find Volume 1 or not. In the Shadow of Man by Jane Van Lawick Goodall. Everybody knows the story of Jane Goodall with the chimpanzees, gorillas. It's interesting to have her, I guess the family tree that she studied in the front here. That's very interesting. Sometimes when I call something interesting, I fear that even to myself I sound sarcastic. I'm usually not. Some full color pictures in here of these chimpanzees. I'm interested to read this. I think as much as I know about Jane Goodall, and as much as I've read and heard about her, I've never read one of her actual books. So kind of excited to read that. Four more. We'll go four more, and we'll be done. The King's Agent, a novel by J. Kent Clark. J. Kent Clark. What year was this? This is a book club edition, published 1958. This has to be a pen name because he looks like Clark Kent on the back. He looks like he could be Superman. Did I just get to the bottom of what Superman did after he retired? Like original Golden Age Superman? He went on to write books, among others, like The King's Agent. I don't know. This is a very nice dust jacket, though. Very nice, almost looks painted dust jacket, painted art on there. Painted on the spine, and then you got Clark Kent himself. Sorry, Jake Kent Clark on the back. We got Selected Poems by Walt Whitman. And if you're not familiar with the poetry of Walt Whitman, do yourself a favor and go and read some because he's one of the only poets that I can actually sit down and read more than like one or two poems. I can just read a bit of Walt Whitman because I think it's that engrossing, it's that interesting, it's that beautifully written. Is copyright 1942 on this, and many different selections in here, including Passage to India, So Long, Calamus, the complete in here, Song of the Open Road, Seadrift, the Broadway Pageant. I knew maybe one of those. I'm saying them as if I know them all. To a foiled European revolutionary, everybody knows that one. Darest thou now, O soul, to one shortly to die. Thy mother with thy equal brood, to a locomotive in winter. Come on now, everybody knows her. They're the classics, right? They're the classics. Everybody knows them. They're like the Hulk Hogan of poetry. I just compared, in a joking manner, that character just compared Walt Whitman's poetry to a racist professional wrestler. Let that sink in. Let that sink in a bit. Next, we have the home library edition of Stevenson's Treasure Island, and hardback, no dust jacket, which I think it needs it because it's very dusty. This almost feels like I don't know, like an oil skin. This was published in, I'm not going to get a year from this, am I? I looked it up when I put this into my system, but I don't think I'm going to get a year out of the book itself. If I had to guess, I'd say 40s, maybe 30s. Published by A.L. Burt. I don't want to guess and sound like an idiot, but older copy, put it that way, of the old Treasure Island. Last one, and then I'll end this nightmare with much like a cyanide pill. This is another one of those modern library editions. I showed a bunch last video. This is The Making of Society by Calverton, and nice little compact version. As you can see how small it is. No dust jacket. None of them had dust jackets. This is an outline of sociology. So fun stuff. Fun light reading, Thank you for watching. I'm going to try to hold up the 4,000 comic books I got. I'm going to go back to doing what I've been doing all week, and that's fighting off a sinus infection, fighting off my allergies, and fighting off Pokemon. Because my life will be complete once I catch them all. That is a fact. So, I'm struggling. Thank you for watching. I don't like this on the front. That's not going to get anybody to look at it. There we go. Like a full deck of cards. Got a full house. Okay.